Hi, I'm Danny from The Glittered Rose. You can find me under that name over on Instagram. I'd really appreciate it if you follow me over there. Gee, it feels like ages since I've done any artwork. I've got the kids home for the long Christmas holidays and I've had to do things elsewhere, so I haven't really been able to do much creative work. So I've made myself a new art journal and I love it. I even created the paper to cover the covers, and I love it. I couldn't wait to create in it. So, the Glittered Roses, which is my Facebook group, I'll make sure I pop a link in the description so that you can join us. We're a small group of paper artists. Our January theme is flags. Thanks, Lorna, if you're watching, for the challenge. And so I thought a fantasy flag in a steampunk theme would work really well. So I'm going to pop this collage sheet set up in my Ko-fi shop. So I've got a subscription model. So for $5 per month for my subscribers, you get access to all my collage sheets. I think there'll be 20 sets available for $5 Australian a month. So it's an absolute bargain. Go and check it out. I'll pop the link in my description box as well. And you get all the individual images as well. So be sure to check it out. And this is what I created. So there's lots of sort of grungy texture. I just love it. I know it's really busy, sort of a little bit different for me, but I had a ball. I really loved working in this size journal. My journal's 5.5 by 8 inches in size, and I love it. I love the feel of it. I made the whole journal. I'm pretty proud of myself. I love it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the covered journal. Do you prefer just the black plain art journal, or do you like them? Do you like them covered? Personally, I think it's nice covered. I think I'll probably end up, grunging it up and popping an image over the front. But, I think it looks quite pretty with it. All right, let's get into it. Um I'll show you how I went about making this page. I really had fun using this collage sheet. So those that are new to my channel, I create my art journals myself because I find it hard to find art journals that suit my needs. So, nice quality paper that doesn't buckle and, um, you know, carry on. So, I really like nice quality paper. Um, and, you know, paper that can take a beating. I like to use a lot of inks and wet media, so I use a nice quality watercolor paper. And I really like the option of being able to rip out my pages so that I don't ruin everything that's underneath them. So I'm just going to do a page. I'm not going to do a spread. So I'm just going to pull. Oh, there's quite a size difference, isn't there? I'm just going to pull a page out of this journal and then I'm going to tape it down onto my desk with some better press tape. I haven't organized or worked out which images I want to use yet. I think I'll probably see how the backgrounds coming together before I work out which images to use. I think they're all gorgeous. I just printed those images on plain printer paper, and I printed a couple of other images on tissue paper in case I want to use those as the background on tissue paper. I'm not sure how they'll go or what I'll use yet. We'll just we'll just see how it all comes together. But we've got a few options when it all comes time to putting it all together. I think I'll use some scrapbook paper for the background first and then layer some tissue paper on top. So there's something underneath that tissue paper, otherwise it might look a little lost. Just fix up my camera and I'll be back. Okay, so I've just grabbed down some distress collage medium and my distress brush, which is just so gross. I think it maybe has seen better days, and it might be time to call it. Might be time for the bin. I really shouldn't be allowed to use anything with bristles. This is just like a typewriter paper. I thought it sort of fit well. I think it's from Kaisercraft. It's in one of their paper packs. There's going to be so many layers. I'm not sure how much you'll see of this, but you sort of still get like the idea of it, if that makes sense. Maybe I need to just finger paint this on. It's a shame my callus is just so big. I'll just stick some in the lid of my thingy. Otherwise, it's a good idea just to be able to smooth it on. I'm just going to pop a mixture of papers. Otherwise, that distress brush is just too dead to use. So I'm just popping random paper here and there. Going over the paper also sort of seals it as well, so I think that's always a good idea. I know it's ugly, but you just keep going, keep layering, and just trust the process. You just push through it. I know it makes you uncomfortable when you look at it like this. All right, I think that's about enough ugliness. I'm going to pop away the collage medium and grab out some gesso. I'll dry it off and clean it up. Then we'll get on with some gesso. All right, let's just pop a couple of dots on of gesso and push back those or expand on those white spaces. Push back those ugly bits and sort of blend it all together. Don't need to worry too much because we'll be sort of popping more layers on the top. So just quickly blending it all together now. This just sort of blurs it all together and makes it come together. All right, I'm going to dry it off. It's looking pretty good. And then I'll be back for the next step. So I've decided I'm going to use my tissue paper that I've printed. I think that it just printed so beautifully on this tissue paper, and it actually surprised me that it came out of the printer on tissue paper so vibrant. Like the rust effect is just so gorgeous. So I'm going to tear it up, and I'm going to use the collage medium to glue it down because it actually works really nicely. And I'll use a paintbrush to glue it down. I love being able to print my own tissue paper because purchasing it is really expensive in Australia. But it also adds some flexibility because you can print your own, so you can print what you want. Um, layering it up, it really adds some interest and dimensions because you can see what you've got behind it. So I really do love using tissue paper in my mixed media artwork. I really do encourage people to try it, putting it through your printer. It also seems to not run when when you use water on it. It's yeah, you'd sort of expect it to run, but it doesn't. So it's really nice and and easy to use. So I've also printed my main focal images on tissue paper. So this is Dina Wakley tissue paper that I'm using. I do have a video in my channel which explains how I do it. So if you want to check that out, I can't link it, so you'll have to use the search button. It's quite interesting, sort of behind it, you can see where the gesso is in comparison to where there's not gesso. It's the different, yeah, it looks different. Just trying to get my positioning right. Okay, I'm just gonna glue these down and give it a dry off. Okay, I'm gonna just do a little bit more blending with some gesso just to incorporate everything now. I don't need to do a lot. I just want to make it a little bit more incorporated and um, just to soften the edges and just to give it that little bit more of a sort of a defocused look. I kind of really love that um, rust rust look. So don't want to go over the rust too much. I'm just going in from the white areas just to blend everything together. I think this background is really starting to look very interesting. I'm really loving how it's coming together. I find it amazing how a bit of gesso can really sort of soften the background and defocus it, if that makes sense. Make it sort of misty as well. Perfect. I'm now thinking I'm not going to use the flag that's on the tissue paper. I'm thinking, well, I really love the lady with the red hair. I'm thinking that middle bottom lady just goes with the colors that are in this background. So I'm going to go with the flag that's on the photo paper and that middle bottom lady. Yep, I'm going to go that. I'm going to cut them out and I'll be back. Yeah, they look good together. And I might incorporate a little bit of rusty paint, I think, just to bring out a bit more of the rusty color. I think they look good. Might pop on some texture paste in black. I think that might be good. All right, so I've got some black texture paste. This is just some distressed stuff, and while I don't love it, it's my only option in black. This stuff just takes forever to dry, so um, I'll have some lunch while it dries. So I'll just rub this on just in patches. I hate it. I should have gone with my instinct and just rubbed it off in the first place. Do you know what I think it is? I think that the color is so similar to the print that's in the tissue paper that it all, well, at least to my eyes, it all just sort of blends in. And I mean, I desperately need new glasses, but it all just sort of blends in, and I can't tell the difference between what's the tissue paper and what's the um texture paste. That's better. Yeah, I'm gonna take that off. I hate it. See, I'm even rubbing where where I didn't put it on. I'm gonna clean up my area and then yeah, I'll work out what I'm gonna do next. All right, so that texture paste was a failure. Let's try white texture paste. I think it might need that, you know, might need the freshness on top of the tissue paper. So we're going to go, we'll try Kmart texture paste. And we'll go nice fine writing on top of it. I think this is a Finnabair texture stencil. Oh, see, every time I use this um, Kmart Australia texture paste, I get such a shock because it's thick and it really holds its shape. So I'm just popping it down randomly. Gee, it's easy to use. So even when I rubbed the stencil over it, when I dropped it, it didn't budge. Okay, I'm gonna go clean up this, let it dry, and then we'll be back to finish it off. All right, so I'm back and the Kmart texture paste has dried really nicely. Um, it's nice and firm. I'm gonna put it through its paces now. I'm gonna pop some paint and water on it and let's see if it flakes off and carries on like a lot of the name brands do. Um, so I've grabbed down some Stamperia rusty texture paints, and this stuff is really thick, so I'm watering it down with some water. And I just want to pop a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy because I've used them before and I went over the top. I needed to cover them up. So, excuse me, I've learnt my lessons and I'm just going to use a little bit this time. Hopefully. We'll see. I really do love this background. It's so interesting. There's all different textures and things to look at. It's almost a shame to cover it up. I do love it when you make something that you just love. It really does help when you've got the right tools and you have in heavy paper that you can throw lots of water or ink at and it doesn't curl and buckle. Oh, I do like making a mess. And this is like a sand thing. I'm not sure if I just put it straight into the paint, if it will stick or if I need to put glue, but we're just testing it. See how it goes. Do a quick mop up. Okay, I'm gonna dry this off. I wanted to get some of the paint around the texture paste because I really love that look when, paints or inks get around texture paste. I think that's the beauty of texture paste. So I'll I'll put the heat gun around that texture paste and, really test this texture paste, see if any of the texture paste flakes off because a lot of them have a tendency to really sort of flake off and not withstand heat, but also a lot of moisture. So I'll be sure to report back after everything's dry. I'll be back. I'm happy to report that the texture paste was a true gentleman and didn't flake off or act didn't act like a brat. It was fantastic. So while I was gluing the main images down, I did a little bit of a seal over the focal image because while my ink is fantastic, it doesn't like water very well. It's fine with mediums, but it can be a bit finicky with water. So I sealed it because I want to put a little bit of rust paint on it because the background of this main focal is a bit painty, but I do want um, a rust droplet on it just to follow that through. Don't know why, but I think that'd just be a nice detail. But I just didn't want the image to run. So that's just a quick tip. If your ink runs with water, just to seal it first with some collage medium or something similar. All right, I'm going to dry this off again. Alrighty, I'm just giving it a run over the edges with a bit of chalk. And then I am going to pop it in my journal and we'll have a close-up look. I've really enjoyed creating in this larger size format and just creating on the one page, not doing a spread. I wish I had her a little higher, but I think it worked well. I think the flag challenge ended up working well. And here we are, all finished. I have to say, I'm really happy with the results. I just think it's so gorgeous. Um, Lots of texture, lots of grunge. I really love my new journal. There's lots of pages for me to create in. Can't wait to get creative. Fill it up. Let me know what you think. If you're interested in getting yourself a copy of the collage sheet, check out my Ko-fi shop. There's lots of lovely images for you to create with. At a really cheap price of just $5 Australian a month. And if you're somebody who can't print collage sheets yourself, I'm open to printing them and sending them to you. Just, send me a message. Let me know. We can work something out. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I really love reading all your comments on my videos. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, guys. Bye for now.